Welcome to newspaper analysis session. Today we are going to cover and discuss various topics. The most important is the Pokali rice system, and we will also see certain aspects related to the inflation, and then we will also see some other important aspects related to the urban transport system. So these are some important things. So we will check the newspaper. The most unfortunate incident. The aircraft accident has happened. So most unfortunate, and you might be aware. So many people got killed. So investigation is going on. We are not yet sure why the accident has happened. So we'll get to know. So here we have already discussed. So what are the various bodies that are present under the Ministry of Civil Aviation? Okay, so we have seen there is a investigation body where any kind of accidents happens. Okay, that body will come into the picture and they will start the investigation. So once we have to wait for certain days. So maybe when more evidences come, then we'll get to know. But here we have already discussed. I think a few days back I have discussed there are only two major players who manufacture the aircrafts. I think I have discussed this thing when I was discussing about the civil aviation industry. So Boeing and the Airbus. These are the only two. They have the duopoly. No other player properly developing this thing. Okay, though Air India is the one who is operating this thing, but the fleet was manufactured by the Boeing. So there were many allegations. Okay, previously also there was allegation that some person, whistleblowed. Okay, some person has complained that there is no proper checking has been done while manufacturing of this Boeing aircrafts. Mysteriously, that person got killed also. And again, the process is going on as usual. So even if you guys cancel the contract of this Boeing aircraft, currently you do not have any other major player to meet the demand. World over, everywhere, they need aircrafts. And there are only two major suppliers, Boeing and the Airbus. So we'll wait and see whether there is a problem in the Boeing or is there any kind of malfunctionality in the operation of this Air India. You already might be aware. Initially, this Air India started in 1930s. It was a Tata's company. Later on, it got nationalized, and Indian government took over it. But it was bleeding. Okay, many losses it incurred. Okay, so it was a kind of drain to the government, financial drain to the government. Later on, government has sold it, and again Tata repurchased it. Okay, but still it did not recover. It was making so many losses. So we need to see, let the investigation happen. We need to wait and see whether any kind of mishappenings were because of operation or mismanagement. We will get to know. Okay, so we'll wait and see. Very, very unfortunate thing, very disturbing visuals. All right, so these things happen. We do not know what can happen in the future or tomorrow, and also that's why we should not take anything very much seriously. Okay, so we have to be always grounded. Okay, that's the thing that we can infer from this. So at least we should not feel, if I should not have done this thing, I should have not have done that thing. We should not have that kind of regret. Okay, there would be some instances as you grow. Okay, you might be speaking to any of your friends for the last time. Okay, they might be leaving your city. Some unfortunate thing happened. You might stop talking to them. So always maintain that kind of grounding so that any such things will not cause any kind of pain to you. Okay, so or else fine. Here another thing that you need to understand here is this what is this? Pilots has issued a Mayday alert. Mayday alert means if there is any kind of severe emergency or threat to the aircraft, okay, they will issue this Mayday alert. Just remember that word. And like we have discussed, we have a Director General of Civil Aviation has come into the picture, and then now they will recover the black box. Black box, it will capture all the important information that was all the communication that has been done when this thing has happened. Though it is mentioned the black box, but the color is in the orange color. Okay. So as we proceed, we will get to know if anything, any significant thing has happened. Few people are saying it is because of the bird hit. Few people are saying it got overloaded, the luggage or anything. They did not check properly. aircraft might have been overloaded or any kind of engine problem or anything. We do not know. Currently, there is no proof, but yes, 250 plus people have been died in this unfortunate incident. Okay, as any new things comes, then we'll try to study. Next thing, gender gap report. Very important thing. Like we have discussed so far so many times, it is very important equal participation of the women for the proper development, because there are 50% of the people you have the women, right? So only when there is equal gender participation, then only there will be proper development and there should be inclusive development, or else there will not be any kind of scenario. So this is a report, Global Gender Gap Report, that is released by the World Economic Forum. Here you can see the India rank 131 out of the 148 countries. Okay, what is the criteria based on which the ranking is released? This is the 4 criteria that you have. Very important thing. Okay, Global Gender Gap Index. They can ask this thing in the prelims. Okay, so one thing, what kind of economic participation is there and what kind of economic opportunities are there for the women? This is the first major criteria, economic participation in the opportunities, and then educational attainment. See here our ranking is good, and then health and the survival sub-index. Here also our performance is good, and then political empowerment. Here it is not doing good. Okay, so these are the 4 criteria. You have to by heart. You have to memorize what are the 4 criteria based on which rankings are released. In South Asia, who is the one performed well? Bangladesh has performed well. Okay, India has performed very poor. Who is the top performing country? That is Iceland and then Finland. Basically, your Finland, Denmark, Netherlands, these countries, they always perform well in all these indices, and Europe always comes forward. UK is also in the top 10. So almost 9 out of the 10 countries are from the Europe and the USA. Yes, these are the Western developed countries. They are ahead. Okay, so that is the point that you need to understand. Gender gap index. In South Asia, it is Bangladesh is performing very well. So these are the 4 major criteria: economic participation, education attainment, health, survival, and the political empowerment. Even in the parliament, why this thing is political empowerment concept is not performing well in India? Even in the parliament, the women's representation has come down from 14% to 13%. That's the reason currently we are providing the women reservations. You can imagine, okay, what would have been scenario if we have not provided women reservation in the panchayat systems. Because of even after that, this is the scenario, the panchayat reservations. Okay, if even that is not provided, you could have known what would have been the scenario. Even there, even if it is woman is provided the reservation, even when the woman is panchayat, okay, she is chairing the, okay, she is being elected in the gram panchayat, but still most of the times her husband will provide the decision. She will be the face, but entire decisions will be by the male counterpart. That is called as a panchayat patis. Okay, so this thing keeps on happening, and we have to change these things. Okay, can you guys know? This is from the prelims perspective. So this is the rankings I have given. Okay, see here, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Sweden. Okay, all these things. Namibia is there. So World Economic Forum, what is this? International organization. Apart from this, they also releases other reports like Global Competitiveness Report, Global Risk Report, Future of the Jobs Report. These are the certain other reports that are released by the World Economic Forum. This is from the prelims point of view. Now you guys think from the mains point of view. From the mains point of view, if you guys have to think, why? Just why women are lagging behind? Okay, even in the labor force participation rate, even the women are there, also women are behind. In the economic empowerment, they are behind. In the political empowerment, they are behind. So if they ask you why, what could be the reason? So you guys need to do the brainstorming. So what could be the thing? So you have to think from the multiple dimensions. If you think from the social dimension, women's prime role is considered as a household care. Household care, right? Family care and responsibility. This is what is being considered as a prime responsibility of the women. So because of this thing, what happens? So imagine a scenario where woman has to leave one job. So obviously the woman will be forced to leave the job, and she will be able to, she was forced to take care of the household responsibilities. This also happens in the scenario where the husband or male counterpart salary is increasing. Then also the woman is expected to stay at home, because anyway the incomes are rising. So as you see, the incomes are rising. So this makes women to stay at home. So women will go through the problem called double burden. Double burden. Remember this thing, very important keyword. Double burden. Double burden means they have to take care of the household responsibilities as well as the other responsibilities, job and all. So you guys should be very careful. Okay, previous generations that are fine. In the previous generation, it is like different kind of thinking. It was like, okay, we will share this responsibility, we will share that responsibility. But as it is growing, even every gender, like just like a male counterpart, they also have the different aspirations. Okay, they also want to do something, achieve something, get success. So in this scenario, the way the household things has to be distributed has to be changed. Okay, like say for suppose, child responsibility should not just be mother's responsibility. It should be both mother as well as the father. You have maternity relief act, but you do not have the paternity relief act in India. Okay, the mother will get paid leave, but same is not true with the father. Even because it is not being considered as a kind of responsibility of the father. This has to change. There has to be leave for the paternity care as well. So when there is equal sharing of the responsibility, this stress will come down. There will not be also relationships breakdown. I have seen even on the personal front, okay, like who are married and also their wives, they keep comparing, okay, we have to do this thing, that thing and all. So from this generation, at least we have to break this thing. We should be able to take care of responsibilities from the household as well as from the work related things in a equal manner, so that every gender grow, every gender meet their aspiration. Then this will provide a stable space in the homes. So this should be allowed. This is not there. Okay, that is what causing. And there is also a thing called twisted sisterhood. Twisted sisterhood. These are the keywords that I am taking it from the sociology. Double burden, twisted sisterhood. I'm just trying to open up your mind. Twisted sisterhood means, okay, you might have learned this thing in the Telugu. Okay, like say, okay, woman is the enemy for the woman. Okay, so in Telugu also there is a line. Okay, so that is the thing. Twisted sisterhood. Generally, this is a scenario where woman is not getting support from the woman herself. Okay, generally this is what happens. Okay, there are like mother-in-law and daughter-in-law are fighting. So that thing. Okay, same. Okay, this is the major problem. Twisted sisterhood. This is happening now. The another problem is also, you can think, education levels are rising. Education levels are rising. Now women is no more willing to work for the low level jobs. As education levels are rising, the women, they are waiting. They are waiting to get a good job. So because of this thing also, there is no jobs. Okay. Even at the corporates, okay, or companies, okay, some other economic reasons. Yesterday we have discussed the agriculture. What did we discuss there? What was the major problem that we discussed there? There were no property rights. That is there. Women friendly equipment is not there. Primarily, women are the one. There is a feminization of the agriculture we have discussed, but there is no property rights with the women. Only 14% as per the National Family Health Survey. So without property rights, how can they get the credit? How can they do the job? Okay, there is no property rights. Most of the property rights are in the name of male counterpart. So this is another problem. Then you can also think of, in the companies itself, there is a problem of glass ceiling effect. Glass ceiling effect. Glass ceiling effect means, Huh? They are not given higher positions. So after a particular period, okay, there is a like ceiling. You cannot go beyond that glass ceiling. Okay, it is not actually present, but some kind of invisible force, it is not allowing them to grow beyond a particular positions. Okay, this is also glass ceiling effect. Okay, and most of the women are being restricted to the pink collar jobs. Okay, so if women want to enter into the army, why army? Go for teaching, go for nursing. Okay, go for those kind of jobs, IT jobs. No, why do you want to go into the manufacturing? So these kind of jobs, these are called the pink collar jobs. Women are being restricted to the pink collar jobs. Then you can also think of political issues. What kind of political issues? Okay, sexual harassment at workplace. Sexual harassment at a workplace. This will be there. Though we have the proper law. Kerala issue, okay, the committee they have, okay, like yesterday also there was committee, I forgot the name of the committee, HEMA committee, I'm not wrong, okay. So in the film industry, okay, they were asking for the favors from the women to provide them proper opportunities. If this is the scenario, like we have also seen this one also yesterday, we have seen some famous producer who was accused in the rape case, okay. If this is the scenario at such a high levels, high positions in the film industries and all, you can imagine small industries where women, okay, they have to work, they need livelihood opportunities, okay, so they cannot come out, they cannot complain. You can imagine what could have been the scenarios there at those places. So if that is the scenario, so instead of opting to work out, okay, they will say, okay, if there is proper money, they'll say, okay, we don't want to work, okay, so they'll stay at home. So there is no proper support. Sexual harassment at workplace, transport is not there available properly. So you might be seeing, okay, transport, it is always overcrowded. So this is a kind of harassment or kind of bullying. Okay, so these are the primary reasons, apart from the lack of credit availability. And also, like I have discussed previously also, okay, if women do not have the proper nutrition also, if there is no nutrition, there is no proper studies and all. So generally what happens, I told you, okay, like this thing, after I discussed it, there was article also, okay, where like I told you, okay, our mothers, when you see, okay, they'll eat last, okay, so they'll eat, okay, they do not consider much, okay, if something is left, okay, if there is too much of the food, they'll think why to waste, they'll eat everything. If little bit is left over, okay, so they'll eat that thing and they'll sleep, because anyway, now who will cook, okay, they'll think this way. So in this way, their nutrition is compromised and they are not able to focus well. Okay. So, and this care economy is also not valued. Whatever the services that are done at the home, okay, it is not valued, right? There is no monetary value for this thing. Okay, so these things, so we have discussed on the political, social, like panchayat buddies, that mindset, that psyche has to change. Okay, woman is inferior, okay, or women do not do anything, okay, woman is not that efficient. Okay, so this will also even for the woman, it will break the confidence. See, for suppose, okay, like say, even for me, okay, when the Instagram, okay, they'll show these things, right, these reels where woman is not driving well, okay, they'll hit somewhere using these things. Okay, for one time, for two times, it is fun, three times. When you see repeatedly, your mind get biased. Okay, sometimes when I'm going on the road, and if the woman is ringing, I get a little scared. So somehow this social media and is also creating that kind of biasness. But that is totally prejudice. It is not true. Okay, you do not have any kind of intellectual difference between the skills between the woman and the male counterpart. Okay, so these things also, this social media and also this can drain the confidence of the woman. Suppose I have my cousin, okay, she drives a car better than me, okay, she parks it well, okay, I find it difficult to park the car, okay, she will, okay, I'll give it to her, she will like, yeah, I'll do it, come, okay, she will drive it well and she will park it in perfect manner. So there is no proper evidence that that woman is not having that skill and all. In fact, if any organization, if there are women, there are studies say that the conflict resolution will be very good. Okay, there will not be conflicts. So women are better at the leadership, resolving the conflicts and all. So it is actually good for the economy, good for the development. So these are the broad things. Again, these things, whatever I have discussed, you will not find these things at one particular point. You have to generate more points. You have to link things from the different content. As you progress, you will get the more content. You will be able to generate these things. I hope you got the idea. Okay. So in the mains, they will ask this question: why the woman is falling behind? Why they are not able to come? If you know, imagine all the initiatives that are being taken up by the government is in order to address these things. So they have brought the law, sexual harassment at workplace, or women-specific police force, she teams. Okay, what is that fund? I forgot the fund. Nirbhaya fund. There is also Nirbhaya fund is there. Okay, so these things government is also trying to bring selfie with Beti. Okay, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Yojana. Why is this selfie with Beti? Because now you are promoting this. Okay, you are trying to erase the feeling in the minds of the people that woman is inferior. Why? These people think. Okay, there are also these philosophies. I do not know how far it is true. Okay, they think they will get moksha only when they have the male child. Okay, and they believe the male child is the most important, and they also believe in the future the male child is the one who is going to take care of the family. Okay, that is not true. If the woman is also working, if the woman is also going to take care, so parents can also stay at the woman. So with these things, this woman empowerment, this selfie with Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So this thing slowly breaks that mental attitude. Okay, whatever the belief, whatever the bias is there. How do you change the bias? When you are providing with the proper facts, when you are providing with the rationality, again and again, repeated manner, that bias will slowly go down. Okay, when you counter that thing with the proper things, then it will go down. So government is taking various initiatives, Stand Up India program, okay, like where they are also providing various funding programs to the women. Under the Mudra Yojana, women will be given priority to provide the credit facilities, hand-holding access to the women. Okay, then you have also special focus on women in the right to education. Various initiatives government is taking so that there are changes or progress in this scenario. I hope you got this concept. So that is a broad point that you need to understand. Very important thing I have discussed. Now inflation, retail inflation is at the 6-year low. This is what the RBI considers. We have already discussed. Okay, monetary policy. RBI or monetary policy comes up with the monetary policy, right? Monetary policy means it is a policy to handle the money supply, flow of the money in the market. The prime role of the RBI is to control, not why to control money supply? To target the inflation. So your inflation is low, right? So it is very low. Now whenever we say inflation, simply see what is inflation. Inflation means the prices are rising. So where do we say inflation? We will not consider everything. We will consider a basket of goods. In those basket of goods, it includes goods and services. The prices are rising. Now for you guys, different products might matter. For me, different products might matter. For him, different products might matter. Maybe he is an industrial person. Okay, he is a basic consumer. Okay, for me, okay, suppose for you guys, staying in hostel prices matter more. Okay, movie tickets. Okay, maybe this might consider as a inflation. Okay, biryani prices or flowers, roses. So the basket of good will vary people to people. So in this way, we have primarily two different baskets. One is for the CPI, and another is for the WPI, Consumer Price Index, and the Wholesale Price Index. RBI primarily tracks Consumer Price Index, inflation. Okay, in order to handle the inflation. Okay, you will also get in the news other terms like headline inflation, core inflation. Headline inflation means same. The CPI inflation is considered as a headline inflation. It includes everything. Basically, when you say consumer, means it includes elaborate basket of goods and services that are primarily directly affecting us. Like say when you go for the haircut, or when you purchase some kind of vegetables, fruits, things which we daily use, that are coming under the CPI. Things that are daily useful for the manufacturing are coming under the WPI. Both of them have the different purpose. RBI targets the CPI. So if it is rising, if it is going high, RBI will tighten the money supply. We have seen this thing because if there is more money, you guys will go and purchase more biryani, more fruits, more than required. So this will, as the demand increases, price will increase, right? So that the demand does not increase, RBI will control the money supply. Okay. So I'm just giving you context because in the news, the retail inflation has gone down. So you need to be very clear what is WPI and the CPI. So in the news, it comes the headline inflation. Headline inflation is the basic CPI inflation, which we are talking is the headline inflation. Sometimes core inflation they also provide. So within this headline inflation, if I separate the items which are volatile in nature, like say food and fuel, these are the one which fluctuates rapidly. If I separate this thing, the remaining part will not fluctuate much. Okay, this is called the core inflation. Okay, so core inflation means excluding certain items which are the more volatile items, such as food and energy prices. Now I have also given you differences between the WPI and the CPI. Okay, WPI it includes only goods. CPI it includes both goods and services. It will be released by the Ministry of Economic Advisor, Department of Economic Advisor, Ministry of the Statistics. Both of them uses the, if you are using some basket of goods, you should have the base price. So what is the base price? 2011 is the base price, 2011 and 12. Okay. So you are using the 2011 price. For suppose this pen is in the 2012, it is 100 rupees. Let's assume that. Now what is the price compared to the 2012 level? If it is now 150 rupees, so there is a 50% rise. Okay. So you are using that base. Okay, that level. Okay, so you will also check what is the price rise that has happened from the previous year with using the same price. Okay, so that's how you give the rise compared to the previous year. Very simple things. You see, in the general studies, there is no subject as a difficult subject. If you have any fear regarding polity, geography, history, science and technology, remove those fears. I am telling you, in the general studies, no such subject which is difficult. There is no such subject. Nothing has to be studied technical. You have to understand content from the generalist perspective, like a layman. Just now, are we getting into any technical details? Any person can understand. Even the 10th class person can also understand if we study in this format. The price rise, why the price rise is happening. So get that confidence, gain that confidence. Subject is not at all difficult. Okay, if you learn in a proper manner, things will become very, very easy. Subject is very easy. Okay. So this is the WPI. Okay, you need to, once you study this thing, WPI, CPI, differences, consolidated. Now your topic is over. One topic of your economy, mains topic is over. We have studied inflation. We have studied measures to handle the inflation. Okay, RBI measures. That is a monetary policy committee. Okay, what kind of measures that it takes, SLR, CRR, that day we have studied. Okay, so only thing now you can think of causes. Can you guys think of causes of the inflation? Do you guys think what could be the reasons why the inflation can rise? I have given you hint. Okay, one thing is if the demand is rising, inflation can happen. On another side, if the supply is not growing well, there can also be inflation. Okay, now see, Iran crisis. Okay, we have discussed this thing, nuclear deal that is going, negotiations are going on between US and Iran. I told you. Okay, Israel wants to bomb the Iran, but USA is doing the negotiations. They have already bombed Iran. You might have seen the news. Okay, so we do not know what will happen. So they have bombed the nuclear facilities. So we'll see, we'll wait and watch. So now this thing happens. We are importing oil from this Iran and all. So obviously, supply side, because of the supply side constraints, the prices will rise. So you guys think, based on our discussion, I'm giving you the assignment. Even who are watching the online, think at least 5 reasons. Okay, overall 5 reasons. 2 or 3 reasons from the supply side and 2 or 3 reasons from the demand side, which is pushing the prices high. Why demand increases? When you have the money, okay, when you get the jobs, like this, you think when you have more jobs and all, or anything, okay, or oil prices rising. So anything like this, you think of 5 reasons. Whoever is watching online can post it in the comment section also. Okay, if you think this way, then you will learn subject more. Okay, you will come from the passive learning to the active learning. Okay. Pokali rice. Okay. So see here again, this is the one of the rice. It is cultivated in the Kerala, in the which region, that is Kuttanad region. Here we are learning 3-4 things very important from the Williams point of view. Kuttanad region and the Pokali rice. So basically this is a rice which can tolerate salt water, even the floods. This is a very, very good thing. And also it is an organic rice. So when you have this kind of system, currently we have the problems of global warming, we have the problems of climate change, we have the problems of the flooding. So if you do the proper research, this can be beneficial to us. If you see why this thing is working, okay, then you can work on this. Because in order to handle the climate change, And how to handle climate change. You need mitigation. Remember this framework. I'll ask you again some other day. Mitigation and the adaptation framework. Mitigation means you are trying to mitigate the problems. Means the clean energy. So you are trying to reduce the greenhouse gases emission so that the problem is getting mitigated. On the other side, you know there is a problem. You are trying to adapt it to that. So you are finding salt tolerant varieties, flood tolerant varieties, drought tolerant varieties. You are also trying to build a kind of walls in the coastal areas because you realize the cyclones are going to come, floods are going to come. You are trying to do the desiltation of the wetlands. You are trying new infrastructure. You know, you realize this, the global warming is happening, climate change is happening. So you are trying to adapt. Okay, so here comes your Pokali rice, salt tolerant and flood tolerant variety. It is from the Kuttanad province of the Kerala. This Pokali rice also given the GI tag. And this Kuttanad province of the Kerala, this is actually within the entire India, this is the lowest point. This is the lowest point in the entire India, below the sea level. Since you guys are beginners, I am just trying to add this thing. See, this is the sea level. This is the sea beach. We'll call as a sea level. Okay. If little above the sea level is plains. Whatever the plains is there, you might have studied in the NCERT, plains. Okay. They are just little above the sea level. Means 100 to 200 meters above the sea level. If they are little more, then till 500 or 1000, you will call it as a plateaus. More than 1000, you will call it as a hills. Okay, hills or mountains. Okay, so now this Kuttanad province is less than sea level. Okay, somewhere deep inside the region, okay, there is some kind of valley below the sea level. There you have this province, Kuttanad province, and here they are going for this rice cultivation, paddy cultivation. And this is most significant area. Okay, one of the significant players that is being recognized by the world also. And this area has got the GIAHS recognition, globally important agriculture heritage system. In the entire world, you have around 17 such sites. 17, okay, 17 or something more than that. Okay, once you can check that thing, I have given there. Okay, who gives this thing? It is provided by the Food and Agriculture Organization, and within the India, you have the 3. Already UPSC has asked in the prelims how many such agriculture heritage sites are there in India. Why these are important? Because these are unique systems. They are trying to provide the food security by providing these kind of things. So they are trying to provide you well-being. Okay, so these areas has to be properly protected and they has to be properly taken care. Clear? Very important. Now the same Pokali rice is also given the GI tag. What is this GI tag? So that region, now see Pokali rice. So now when you see this thing, you will also realize, acha, that rice in the Kerala, sir taught me. Okay, so this is organic, nutritious. You will realize. So you will purchase that thing. So this is increasing your brand value. If I provide the GI tag, the brand value is increasing. So if I give you 2 laddus, one laddu normal laddu, another laddu is Tirupati laddu. So which one you will buy? Tirupati laddu, because there is more brand value. You know this is authentic, pure cow ghee, desi ghee. Okay, so they will they also have some kind of good positive vibes and all. You will think. So you will definitely take this thing. So when you get the GI tag, you will get the more branding for this thing. So generally GI tag is provided for the 10 years and there is also law to provide the GI tag. Okay, so GI tag is used on the products that have specific geographical origin. It is provided for the 10 years and it can be extended for the 10 years. It is the office responsible for the GI registration in India is located in the Chennai. It operates under the Controller General of the Patents, Design, Trademarks and the Ministry of the Commerce in India, under the Ministry of Commerce. Getting the GI tags are very important. Okay, so getting the GI, so it can be provided to the agriculture, handicrafts, manufactured products, food products, to everything. Okay, so if in the previous year, if say for your appear from the 2026, in the 2025, if any product has been given GI tag, you have to read that thing and before going to the prelims. So simply in the factual thing, they make you, okay, this product has a GI tag, this do not have the GI tag. Okay, so these kind of questions might appear in the prelims. So we have done very important thing that is related to this thing, but these individual things I will take it to the mains exam hall. Only when you utilize these things in the mains, only then you will get the marks, or else you will not get the marks. There is no point in reading the mains. So where do I use this thing? I have told you, okay, I'll use this thing in the climate change, global warming. Okay, I'll use it in the biodiversity. India has, why do we need to protect the biodiversity? This is again, okay, see here, tomorrow all the rice might go, okay, but this Pokali rice might save you. So now you can realize the importance why we have to protect the biodiversity. Greater the diversity, better will be the ecosystem stability. Okay, the resilience of the ecosystem means fighting back of any kind of disturbances will be very much high if there is a diversity. So very, very important. There is nothing much. This is the editorial that has been given. Again, the same thing that I have taken. Just I have given the synopsis. The same thing. The US is imposing tariffs, trade and tariff charges. Okay, the same thing that has been given. I have given the summary. You can go through. Science behind the right AC temperature. We have already discussed these things. Okay, so the Trump tariffs and the US-India trade agreement. So still we are discussing the trade agreement that is going on. Okay, so the same things that are being discussed here. Nothing much. IRCTC thing we have already discussed. Now another thing is urbanization and the challenge. So you can go through this thing. Okay, nothing much here. We have already discussed. Try to read the article and then if required, you can go through the synopsis. See, your urbanization by 2060, 60% of the people will be in the urban area. You might have seen, okay, how much your urban areas are crowded. Especially if you see, if we can divide the urban areas into class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 classes of the urban areas, your towns. Okay, primarily, like say, if the population is more than 1 lakh, it is considered as a class 1 town. Primarily, our majority of the urban areas are the class 1 towns, and huge problem is being faced by these class 1 towns. The population that is being in this class 1 towns are way, way higher than the class 2, class 3, class 4 towns. Your class 1, 2, 3, class 2, 3, 4 are not well developed. See, this is the one getting overcrowded. Government has introduced a scheme called Amrut and the Smart City Mission. Primarily, first Amrut. Amrut is for the development of this thing. Okay, development of the class 2 and the class 3 cities. And we are also trying to develop proper connectivity from this class 2 to class 3 towards the class 1 so that you don't have to migrate to the class 1. Currently, what they are saying is by 2060, 60% of the people will live in the urban areas. So if it is properly spreading all these areas, then it will be fine. But what is happening? Majority of the movement is shifting is happening to the metropolis cities. Okay, you are Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi. So these are heavily overcrowded. So, and the transport is the most important thing. You might have seen, okay, recently we have seen, okay, what has happened in the railways, not in the railways, okay, metro system of your Mumbai, okay. So same scenario even in the Hyderabad. Okay, if you try to take the metro, it is heavily overcrowded and the price is also very high. So the problem, there is a problem of the urban transport. So this article says government is taking various measures like e-buses, PM e-drive scheme. Government is doing this thing, and at the same time government is also pushing for the metros. But the article says these metros, these e-buses, they are very, very costly. So they have to be affordable. So even metro price is very costly. If the price is reduced, the metro system will fail because the metros, they are not built by the government. They are built in PPP, okay, in public-private partnership. Government in collaboration with the private player. They have to recover their prices or else they will not come for the investment. Now, if the prices are reduced, they will not recover their cost. They will not invest next time. If the prices are increased, people will not take the ride. So people will struggle. Okay, then they will go into the buses. Again, buses are overcrowded. MMTS, they'll try to take overcrowded. So this is causing the problem. So it says we have to find sustainable solutions. A price which is feasible to all. So they have also provided one of the alternative called the trams. These are like you might have seen in the movies. They also flow on the small, okay, small. They are like small buses, okay, but they flow on the tracks. Okay, they are electrically charged. Okay, through wiring and all, they'll flow small things. Okay, they're like you previously West Bengal used to have this thing. Calcutta used to have this trams, but they have now done away with this thing. Now Kochi is trying to come up with this tram system. The article says this is the better thing, trams. Okay, so you can suggest this thing as an alternative. You can also provide in the urban problems, one of the problems as urban infrastructure. The transport system is very heavy. The prices are very high. So resolving this urban problem is very difficult. So what do you need to do? You will provide the trams, but still if the population is very high, you cannot resolve. So the long-term solution is always do the proper balanced development of all the classes. And also you need to provide proper development even in the rural areas. If you provide the rural areas, development in the rural areas, why do people relocate to the urban areas? There is huge influx of population to the urban areas from the rural areas in search of jobs, in search of aspirations for the better living and all. If you provide proper facilities, everything in the rural areas, people will not migrate. So you have to solve the root cause. This is the root cause. Few cities are getting overburdened. You have to resolve this thing. You have to make sure that not just only metro cities are getting overburdened. You need to see there are multiple cities that are being developed. Along with this, rural areas also has to develop. Clear? So that big picture, because see, urban areas are the engines of growth. They can ask you this question. Urban areas are the engines of the growth. Comment. Why? Can you think why these are the engines of growth? Can you just think why, how the urban areas is providing you the development? Can you think 3 points, 2-3 points? How economic development? How? Very good. Let's see. If you see now the IT industries or even all the other industries, they are primarily in the urban areas and semi-urban areas. Trained population, skilled, all these services and all your hospitals. Okay, your tier 3 hospitals. Okay, so tertiary care hospitals, all even the educational hubs, they are present here. So with this, more people come here. So they will generate more demand. As they generate more demand, to satisfy and meet their demand, some other things will come up. Retail shops, entertainment industries, movies, because many people have come up. Or to support you, some other service-oriented economies might come up. Okay, like say laundry service, okay, washing service, all these things might come up. Okay, some kind of food service, dabawala, eateries. So that's how urban areas are the engines of growth. Everyone will gathering at one place. To support them, more and more development will happen in that place. But you need to make sure, you need to develop so that it does not cripple the development. Okay, you should have the proper urban development. While talking about the floods in the Bengaluru, I discussed this thing. You need to properly have the master plan. How much population you can intake. Accordingly, you have to plan. You cannot just keep on growing. Okay, you have to make some kind of plans. Those master plans are very important for the city, or else city will collapse. Water problem, all the problems, pollution problems, traffic problem, everything will come, right? So it has to be properly planned. That's why we have the urban management also. Okay, that's why you have the under your urban governance, you have this municipal corporations, municipality, nagar panchayats. These systems are there now to handle this thing. Okay, I hope you are able to connect these things. Okay, all these things, all the points that I am trying to connect. So these are the things that I have given. See here, whatever the content I have discussed, it is present here. Now, Moody's downgrade. I have also discussed, like USA have this huge amount of debt. Okay, so they have around $35 trillion of the debt. Their entire GDP is $30. Okay, there is more than 120% of the debt the US is carrying. I have discussed. So Moody is a kind of agency. They will provide the ratings to every government. Okay, because if USA government issues a bond, you guys will purchase. So now, how far this bond is authentic, or how far they will not how far they will be able to repay you. Okay, so based on this crediting rating, so more people will purchase. So the credit rating should be very high. For suppose if I am selling you bonds, so you will check, okay, whether this person will be able to repay me back or not, right? So how do you check this thing? How do you check this authenticity? Okay, you will go through the credit ratings. So in the same way, even for the governments, there are credit rating agencies. One such rating is a Moody. Okay, or else I might default. Okay, you have given me a loan. Okay, so some 1 lakh. I said, sorry, I can't pay back. Defaulted. What will you do? Nothing you will be able to do. The same way, even the government should also be given rating. Okay, so Moody's does this job. So CIBIL score. Okay, CIBIL score is for us. Okay, generally for the retail. So this is like that. So whenever the fiscal deficit or debt increases, this happens with even in India. Okay, they will come and give you the Moody's rating. Okay, so this will then when the rating is low, the investment in the government bonds will go down. Okay, so that's how these ratings are very important. So they have given the that rating for the government. See here, Moody's rating. Okay, they will provide AAA to the C lowest. Okay, that is the thing. So apart from this, you also have the Standard and Poor, Fitch ratings. Okay, these are the ratings that are available. Okay, China and USA trade deal is going on, but nothing substantial has come out. So they have for a while they have discussed to reduce the tariffs. China has the USA has reduced the tariffs on the China. In the same way, China also said, okay, we'll reduce the tariff, but it is not to the level which is acceptable. Okay, they have not also made any kind of proper deal in selling the rare earth metals to the USA. Still, those issues are going on. So nothing concrete has happened. So huge uncertainties. Okay, now IAEA, I told you while discussing about the Iran and the USA nuclear deal, what was the deal? To limit the uranium levels. Okay, this was happened in 2014. Later on, okay, it was cancelled by the Trump government. They were renegotiating the new deal. We have discussed this thing. Okay, because Iran might go for the nuclear uranium enrichment. If the uranium is enriched beyond 60% or 75%, then they can create the nuclear bomb. For the power generation, 3 to 5% is enough. So deal was happening, but deal could not be finalized. So now USA yesterday has said that okay, they have also withdrawn their diplomats from the Iran. They have asked to come back. So it was clear that something is going to happen. Today Israel has bombed their nuclear facilities. Iran will retaliate. Something is going to happen. So Israel has already announced the emergency. You already know. Okay, we have already discussed why Israel has currently attacked the Iran. So I have told you Iran is currently at its weakest. Internal crisis, high inflation because sanctions from so many days, huge amount of poverty, unemployment, youth is currently unsettled in the Iran. So they are fighting against the government. So Iran's government is weak and the support they get from the Syria has gone down because in the Syria previously there used to be a Shia government. Now you have the Sunni government. So it is gone. Second power is gone. Third power I told you Hezbollah. Hezbollah from the which country? Lebanon. Okay. Hezbollah was also severely attacked by the Israel. Now Hezbollah is also at the weakest. Fourth thing, Hamas in the Gaza. Even they are at its weakest. Their main leaders got killed. So even Hamas are weak. Another thing, Houthis currently they are working on Houthis also in the Yemen. They are the Houthis. Okay, currently Israel is strongest and Iran is not having that kind of capability to counter back. Now who can support the Iran at this scenario? Okay, who are their allies? So Pakistan might come. Not Pakistan, maybe China or Russia. Russia will say something. India currently will not say anything against the Israel because Israel in every situation, in every scenario, Israel outrightly supports India in case of the Pakistan crisis. Okay, that is even USA does not support it that way. So Israel always stays with us with any kind of crisis. So most probably India will not take any kind of stand because Israel is very important for the India. And Russia, we need to see we have also developed in the Iran Chabahar port. We have also discussed IMEC corridor, INSTC corridor. So we are developing various infrastructure projects that are passing through this Iran. Now so much instability. Now we are also currently importing a lot of oil from the Iran also. Now if US imposes the sanctions, for us the oil prices will rise. Our infrastructure, whatever the facilities we have taken there, they will go waste. Okay, so India is also going to face the trouble. So we need to see how the global events turn out. So many uncertain things are happening, unfortunate things are happening. Every day when we wake up, so we have to study all these things. So that's why, okay, maintaining our mental peace is also very important, not to get too much affected by these things. When we wake up to these news. Okay, these people died, these many people died, that much happened and all. Okay, so too much of negativity, toxicity. So you have to be very careful so that it does not enter your mind and heart. So these are the things. So IAEA is the agency which checks whether the nuclear enrichment is happening or not. Uranium is maintained at the proper levels or not. It will report. So it has said they are enriching the uranium. So USA said anything might happen. Israel has bombed it. Simple stories. Very easy for you to remember. So now, according to me, you should be very comfortable in the IR. So far, what we have discussed with the Iran, Israel, so many aspects we have covered. Okay, so that's all for today. I want to keep short. Okay, I want to keep it to the as much as possible to the 50 minutes, so that it does not extend it too long, and for you also retention happens very easily. Okay, so I want to keep it the discussion within the 50 minutes. So I'll try to do that. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you. Any other question? Any other doubt? Clear? Iran and the P5 countries we have seen. Iran, USA, other European countries have also participated. Okay. It got cancelled. Now they want to negotiate the new deal. IAEA has said new Iran is doing this enrichment. Deal has not yet happened. Okay. So meanwhile, IAEA has reported that Iran is going for the enrichment. Israel attack. So deal should happen, negotiation should have happened, and it has to be brought down, ideally. Meanwhile, they have attacked. Clear? Everyone is clear?